Hello and welcome. I'm Futures Trader, and in this video I want to share something with you about a new tool that was created by EasyAlgoIndicators.com, and it's very cool. So if you've seen this video I put here on my YouTube channel in the past, I made this video talking about how I would find crypto coins to trade, and I'm not going to be doing it like that anymore, so I'm going to show you why. And then I'm going to delete this video because this is the old way and I don't do it like that anymore. So Easy Algo, which is what I use to trade with, it gives you, trend X, indicator X, it's these lines, and trend X is like these lines. So it has these things, and then it has SMCX, which is, let's see where I put it, right here. One of the newer indicators from Easy Algo, and it's a really cool indicator. I'm still learning this one. That's why I still use Indicator X, because I like that style of trading. But the more I see people win trades with this and how clean their charts are from it and what they're doing with this, it's just amazing. And there was a tool created to kind of like a companion tool to kind of help us find new coins to trade, and Trader X, the founder of Easy Algo, has basically made this tool to help us find coins to trade. And what it does, it's called EAX, and what it does is it scans like the top performers, and so it scans the markets. I'm going to refresh my page, and it doesn't share with you all the coins and show you like everything, but it scans the best ones, the biggest movers, like the biggest ones that pumped or dumped the largest amount, and then basically it goes through and it scans all this data and it presents it to you right here on this web page, which we get access to in Easy Algo. So this is so cool, and I don't think I'll ever go back to trying to find coins to trade the way I used to. I'm still learning everything with this, but it's amazing because it's so new. And I have to say, with Easy Algo, since I've been with this group, there's always something new. They're always innovating and making something new, and it all works together so well. So when this came out, I first kind of overlooked it because I didn't think that I would use it right away, because I trade with Indicator X, and there's some focus on SMCX. And in this on this website, on this EAX tool, it has a lot of stuff. So I'm going to run by some of it. Now, TraderX did a video about it, training those who have access to it how to use it and what it does. But I'm just going to put it in my words and what I've learned so far. And by no means have I learned everything so far, because I hardly even use SMCX, because I'm still using one of their older indicators, which is Indicator X and TDIX, which they're still great indicators and work. But this is new stuff, and it's amazing. So what you have here with EAX, you got 40 coins processed here, and these are going to be like the top movers, the top pumpers and dumpers. And you have this, basically it's an RSI scanner here, and what you got here is you have like a line in the middle, and basically that's like a proximity to like the nearest fair value gap. And it'll tell you like the coin like symbol, and say like this one here, if you hover your mouse over it, it'll tell you, that it's pumped 76% in the last 24 hours. So the RSI is high. The RSI on here, it says it's at 91. And then it gives you a bunch of other data. And this data corresponds with the other Easy Algo indicator tools to help you trade. And it tells you, basically the proximity to like another daily level that happens to be resistance, or the next fair value gap. It's like 4.24% away from a fair value gap. And if you know anything about trading, you know that fair value gaps get filled. And just to talk about SMCX really quick, I'm not a skilled trader yet with SMCX. I can trade with Indicator X, but I'm still learning this because there's a lot to learn. But I have the basics, I think, some of the basics of it. But, when price moves, you're always going to have you know, candle wicks, say near previous candles, like will go through an area, and if there's let's say, let me try to find an example. Like here's a good example. So if Bitcoin moved down really fast, and then like this previous candle had a wick, and then like there was no wick on the candle after this big candle, well, this right here, this little area would have been like a fair value gap. And basically fair value gaps have like a super high percentage of being filled. So what that means is when there's a fair value gap, like if there was one here, price is going to come back to it. Usually, I'd say 90+% of the time. Maybe I think it's like 97% of the time, fair value gaps get filled. But this SMCX will help you find those, and really this EAX tool. So like I was saying, it'll tell you how far away the next fair value gap is on whatever time frame. You can check like different exchanges, like coins that they have on different exchanges. I use Bybit, so that's the one I use. And as this is a typical looking RSI scanner, but it has a lot more data. So obviously, if a coin like XEM is really high, that means the RSI is high, and you're going to probably want to short this when it's ready to short. But as it gets close to this fair value gap, or this middle line, that means it's getting really close to a fair value gap. So as it approaches it, you're going to really want to be looking for a trade at, or even early, and just kind of doing your TA on it early. But see, you don't have to scan the market and look around for coins to find something to trade. That's one of the parts about, once you learn how to trade, you're looking for something to trade that has the right criteria. But EAX is designed to give you coins and feed them to you that have the right criteria, and it is amazing. So I feel like an idiot because I overlooked this, and it's been out for a week or a couple weeks, at least I think, and I got access to it early, but I just never really used it because I didn't think I'd fully learn SMCX right away. And so this next section is kind of corresponds with SMCX if you trade with that style of trading. And so in here, you can do all sorts of stuff. So you've got like swing point detection. So if there's going to be a swing, there's going to be a swing point, you can tell on this, it's going to detect it. And when you hover your mouse over, it'll show you like the candle 2 in the middle. So that's what you would be using to determine, if a level was swept, or it's going to like displace, or like reverse, if price is going to reverse and you're going to have a reversal. So you have this, and like that's what see, like where I have this data on screen, like right in the middle of it, it says 1 day bias high, and it has an R there. That's like symbolizing reversal. If it said C, it would be continuation. So it has a bias like high, so it's I would say potentially I want to say that you would necessarily want to short it, but in many cases when it says high, you would want to short something. So but the weekly bias is low, so that means like you probably wouldn't want to short it on the weekly. So anyway, there's a lot of data here, and it kind of tells you even like the RSI, like is it bearish or is it bullish, and there's so much to say about this. But if you click on it and say you're looking just for RSI divergences, and you click this, and then it'll load which ones have it. So these ones have RSI divergences, and it'll show you what's going on with SMCX. So SMCX is basically an indicator that is all about trading reversals, because that's where you can get the most gains. And so like if you unclick that and just click something that's like that where it says key levels, it'll give you stuff that's close to a key level. Like this one says down towards the bottom, it says proximity 1.87% to resistance, a previous week high at 0.0540. So it saves you time once you understand how to interpret this data and what you're looking for, because a lot of people don't want to trade something unless it's by a key level, and this gives you that data. So the other tools like TrendX already mark key levels for you, and it's just previous day highs, previous week highs and lows and things like that. Price interacts with those, so that's why you want this data if you're going to be trading and you're looking for a reversal at a key level. So that's a really cool tool. And the other ones, like, it'll just tell you like what's moved the most. Like this one has went it looks like it's down 43% in the last 24 hours. So this is super cool. And here, if you select multiple ones, it'll show you like which ones meet all three of the criteria. And in this case, like, you have a timer where it's like the hour, like 1 hour swings. It's basically when this timer runs out and it starts over, that's when you want to be here looking for a trade. Because like if it's like, got some time left on it, you may have to wait that long. Because see, what happens is it'll give you a trade setup, basically, with SMCX, a potential trade setup. And then if you get in right at the, say in 15 minutes from now, it'll be a new hourly candle. You'll have more data and all this will refresh. The same with like 4 hour swings and daily swings. And this is so cool. And I'm still learning SMCX, so I can't show you everything of what this can do, but some of the other guys in our group are really good with this. So that's why I'm kind of wanting to learn more SMCX. I still use Indicator X and I love it, but I think I'm going to be learning this when I have more free time, and I am gradually learning it, but it takes a while. If you're trading and you're risking your capital, you want to make sure you know what you're doing before you go and place a trade. So here you have this down. When you scroll down, it shows you the coin level summary, and this is what I like. This I can use even if I trade with Indicator X and not with SMCX. There's a lot of data here. I can, these are the top movers or, pumpers or dumpers. And if I click the 24-hour percent change, it'll say, okay, well, Rex went down 24.26%. And this is where it gets really interesting, because you can go like XEM is like pumped 76% in 24 hours. So you have this next column, which it'll tell you the pivots for TrendX. If you're in Easy Algo, you know what TrendX is and how powerful it is. So these are weekly pivots, because weeklies give you a better trend than a daily and something that you might be able to trade throughout the whole week. And it'll tell you, like, is it a wide pivot? And if it's wide, we know that wide pivots are trending, or it's normal, it might be ranging, or I'm sorry, I said wide's trending. Wide is ranging. Narrow is trending. So if I click this, narrow would be trending pivot. Sorry, I don't know why I said that, but you have your narrow pivots here, and you know that a narrow pivot's going to move more typically, or they have the potential to move more. And if it's wide or normal or wide, I would say that it's going to range, or it's more likely to range, highly likely to range. Now these ones with the little, if you can see this here, these ones with the little triangles, they are inside pivots, and those are like even better pivots. So that basically means like the pivot for this week is like inside of the range of the previous week pivot, and those tend to have really nice moves. So you have your this data that's based on TrendX, which is another easy algo indicator, and it's really useful. And then you have like your biases here, where it's like in this, like it'll say like, okay, if it's high, it may be sweeping. It may come back down, fail to displace, and it may sweep it and then come down for a reversal. Although this one, because like it says C, the truth is on this is it's in a continuation, because it is displacing. If you look at it, it's higher than the previous candle. It's not wicking and then coming back down. But when you see the C, that's for like if you're looking to trade continuations, because some people like to trade continuations. I do, but I'm learning to trade reversals more. But when you see the R, see this one here is a reversal. And so it's basically swept the hourly, the high on the hourly, and you see that's why you see the second candle there with the little wick above, and now the price is coming down. So it's basically having a reversal compared to the previous candle, the previous 1 hour candle. And then you have the same thing for like your 4 hour, and you know, this one's doing a continuation. The previous candle was green, this one's green, and it's continuing up. And it's really cool because you can narrow things down, like how do you want to trade, what's your style, you know, what are you looking for, a continuation, you want to try a reversal. Well, anyway, this is what you can get all this data. This is what you can do with EAX, and there's so much more. So you have like your biases and stuff. So this is more biases, like your daily bias, your weekly bias. And I believe these hot, where it says high, I think from what I understand, that means the RSI is high. So something that's high on the RSI, you're probably going to want to be eventually looking for a short if you're trading a reversal, and low, you may be looking along. And it's even green in color if you're probably going to short, or you look for a red one or a green one if you're going long. So this here is what I like. This is what can be really useful to me. These are very impressive to me. This shows you RSI divergences, and this could be between the 5 minute and the 4 hour. And from what I understand, it tells you like divergences that are occurring on multiple time frames. And so it makes it a very high probability that this divergence is going to play out. And it's like a 3-point divergence measurement of some sort. I don't fully understand it, but from what I think it's doing is just checking different time frames to see how many time frames that divergence bleeds into. And so it doesn't pull up something on here unless it's got a divergence on like 3 different time frames. And they did it in a way so that it's highly effective, because TraderX knows what he's doing on this. He's been trading for a long time. So all these tools together, so like on the 5 minute to 4 hour, 15 to 12, I mean, you can look at it and say, okay, do I want to go long on this? It's got a narrow pivot. Well, no, because it's high on the RSI is really high. It may continue, but you know, maybe in an hour, it's on the hourly, it might have a slight reversal, but these other time frames, it looks like it's having a continuation. Though you have a divergence here. So basically, when you get all this data, it helps you to make a more informed decision on what you want to trade. And these tokens that are given to you through EAX every day, this 40 tokens, is going to be stuff that's moving, stuff that's got some liquidity, stuff that people are trading. It's not just going to go sideways and stay still. This is good to trade. So, you know, this here looks pretty good. It looks like a continuation bearish divergence. See how there's C's on here? And this would be it's a lower high. But, you know, the thing is, when you're looking for like a bearish divergence, you're always going to measure the tops, the peaks. And when you're looking for a bullish divergence, you're always measuring the bottoms, and, you know, the bottoms, and see how low they are. And that's another reason why I think that these are red, because they're bearish divergences, and the green ones are bullish divergences. And some of them, you know, are regular divergences, which could be a reversal. But the ones that are you know, the other ones are hidden divergences, which are continuations. So once you know all this stuff and you're you know, familiar with it as a trader, it's going to make sense to you. And if you're, you know, wanting to trade a certain thing a certain way, or just want to scan through and find something to trade, you can get all this data. And of course, here you also have proximities to, say, that this one here, like just as an example, it's 13% to a support, which happens to be a previous week high. Or sorry, I would say what previous week high. I might be doing this wrong, but I think PWH is previous week high, but maybe it's 13% to the support, or close to, in proximity to the support that's underneath of it. But it tells you here, yeah, the previous week high is at that, and then this is to support. Okay, so it's 13% above support. That's what I'm guessing. And when you could probably find the price of it here. I think you can just click here. Yep. So you can just click on it and see and get this data, and you could say, okay, well, here's your levels, like your R3, your R2, previous day high, R1, previous week high. This thing is pumping, but will it pump forever? You might want to, actually, it looks like you could probably short this soon. But it did find support here. This must be the support level that it was talking, or that it mentioned. So I'm not sure, but if it's around 13%, I'm guessing that's what it would be. No, it might be previous week high. I don't, yeah, previous week high is down here. So that's probably to 13%. 16 in this case already. But I may be doing something wrong here. I'm still learning this. I'm very new to this. But this is really cool. And it even shows you TDIX on here, which is awesome. Because you can look at like the FASTA-MA, the money flow, the Bollinger Bands, shark fins, right here on the website. You don't have to do it on TradingView. You've got all your levels marked for you, like your TrendX weekly pivot. And this is just so useful. This must be a fair value gap over here. Anyway, you can just click here, I guess, and it closes it, and you could check something else. And from what I know, like if I wanted to look at something, I want to look at this XEM. And if I want to just pull it into TradingView, I could just click copy symbol. And so I copied it, and then I can go to my TradingView. And let's see, there we go. Let me close my Discord because it's beeping. So that was quick. I didn't really even have to type it, and I could just look at XEM. Wow, it's definitely pumped. So that's how quick it is. You can get it right onto your charts and do your TA and check everything. And yeah, this is super cool. So there's more to show you with this, with EAX, because I still don't know everything. There's more on here, and you can learn more about it through some of the other guys in the Discord, because they've been using it more than I have. But now that I understand what it does, I'm going to be here a lot. It's kind of like, this is my homepage. When I open my internet browser, I come straight to this. I'm still doing the courses like on this, because I've already done Indicator X and Trend X, but this is a new system of trading. And I, now that I have it and have access to it, I am studying this. And I'm probably 70% through with this one, and I haven't started on this one yet. So that's why I've kind of waited to start getting into EAX. But I don't really have to trade with SMCX to use EAX. I mean, these divergences, this is hot. Like, this data is great. The RSI scanner is super cool, because I don't, personally, the way I trade, I generally don't check for fair value gaps all the time. But when I do, like, it's very useful to me. I know that price is probably going to go back and fill those gaps. So one moment. So this is really cool. This saves me so much time. And now that I know how to do this, and I've been trading things for a while that just don't move very much. And now if I pick things that are on this list, I know that it's going to move. I know I'm going to be looking to short XEM, or maybe go long on something that's down here that's close to a fair value, or maybe like on this side of this middle line. So as it gets close to it, it's really cool. And So the higher they are, the more the RSI is, and the lower, like the lower it is. So really cool stuff. So that's EAX. I It's going to be a while before I fully tap the potential of this, because if you're using easy algo indicators in combination with each other, it's amazing. I mean, I used to use like Trendex once in a while to see if I could find shark fins at those levels. Now I just use Indicator X and TDIX, but I do still use Trendex, but not as much. But if I'm like in certain trades, sometimes I'll just turn Trendex on. But this will give me that data, and it works with SMCX too, because a lot of the time when you're getting a reversal, it might probably be at a key level, whether that's a fair value gap or a Trendex level, like a previous day high or previous day low or a pivot. You're going to want to know where that's at, because you don't want to just trade out in the middle of nowhere. You want to trade by a key level, and then you want to use your other tools to know, is it showing signs that the price might reverse? And if it's at a key level, you've got a very high probability, high confluence trade setup. And that's what this gives you. And it's quick. And I wish I would have studied this sooner, but it's just, there's a lot of data. When you're in easy algo, it's not always easy to keep up, because there's always something to learn, and everyone in the community is always like sharing stuff. So it's a great community. If you don't have this, I wanted you to know what this is capable of, and what you're missing. I'm glad I have it now, and I'm glad I'm starting to understand it, and I'm going to be using it from here on out. So if you see me making videos where I'm looking for coins to trade, so like in this case, I'm going to be looking at XEM now, and I might even check out some of my other indicators with it, because I'm really very confident with TDIX and Indicator X, but I'm still learning SMCX, and this is so cool. Like, I wouldn't have looked this up. This was not on my watch list. I put it on my watch list just now, as you've seen. So now I see this thing's pumped like crazy, and it's getting wicks up the top. It's up here by liquidity lines. Well, I might watch it and see if it continues. I mean, that is one hell of a fair value gap right there. And that's, let's see, that's on the 4 hour, and 4 hours like the standard. So I would assume price is going to come back down and at least fill some of that fair value gap, before too long. I mean, this RSI is crazy high. That is, like close to as high as it gets before you see a reversal. Although I wouldn't short it right now, because this money flow is so high. It usually takes time on something like this, and it looks like it's on a rampage. I mean, things can pump or dump, and it doesn't mean they're going to reverse right away, but when they do, and they've got all this fair value gaps and levels they haven't like touched yet, or fib levels and stuff, they're just going to dump harder when they dump. So I think that's why a lot of people like shorting stuff, because stuff pumps all the time, but when you find it pumping and then you just get ready for a short and you short it, it can be very profitable. But yeah, that's EAX, and that's how you can find stuff to trade with it. And yeah, I think this is the way I'm going to be doing it from now on. Thanks for watching.